팀 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys. Game 7. The map is Taldrum Altar, and our competitors are our purple Terran player in the lower left part of the map from the team StarTale. If he does not win this game, his team is knocked into the lower bracket. So it all comes down to this. It is StarTale Bomber. And in the lower right part of the map, in the blue from the team Prime, it is a player that may be on the verge of getting a reverse all-kill, coming back, getting 5 wins. It is MarineKing.Prime. Actually, is that... oh, that's Bomber. Never mind. Yes. Never mind. I've got it switched away. Wow, you know, I was really putting a lot into that intro.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
Why didn't you stop me sooner, man?
Because I just realized it because I was going along with it. No, I didn't realize it until just now.
All right.
Sorry.
So these players are the opposite of the players I originally said. This is MarineKing.Prime, and this is StarTale Bomber.
That is true.
It all rests on this guy, who's blue and not purple.
That's true, as a matter of fact.
Right.
So, Bomber versus MarineKing.Prime now, and a TVT. We're going to see if MarineKing is going to be able to finish the all-kill, or if Bomber can start to bring things back for StarTale. The last time I saw Bomber play a TVT on Taldrum Ultra went an hour and 10 minutes or something like that.
Sweet.
And had, I believe, it was either 10 or 11 base trades with top. It was ridiculous, actually. So
yeah, those two players are definitely what I would call mechanics players. You know, they get by on their ability to macro better than most people out there. That's kind of how Bomber was known in Brood War as well. He was NSP Fancy in Brood War, and just kind of had good enough mechanics to take games off of very good people. I believe he made 1 appearance in the Pro League in Brood War, and won a game. So that's kind of, you know, he wasn't a huge Brood War player, but he did make some appearances.
Yeah.
And has the great macro to show for it.
And interesting developments right now already, as MarineKing decided to once again CC first. This is the 3rd time he's done this in the 5 games he's played so far.
Yep.
And his opponent, on the other hand, decided to do a 1-Rax gasless FE as he's about ready to throw down that command center at his natural.
Hey, man, if you can be greedy like that, why not try to get away with it?
Yeah. And look at this, actually. MarineKing putting up gas right away after he puts up his first barracks.
Yep, but only 1 gas, so no really fast factory or anything like that. I kind of wonder a little bit if we're going to see possibly a Reaper from MarineKing.
It's certainly a possibility, as he's going to have some nice gas saved up here in just a second, but it's about 4 minutes into the game, and our first little attack unit is coming out now for Bomber. Hooray!
Welcome to the game.
Yes, as these 2 players are playing very economical at the moment.
Or Haebyung, as it's known in Korean. Korean word for marine is Haebyung.
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 Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I always worry when someone tells me words in a foreign language that they're trolling me, so...
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing but the truth from me.
Aw, I appreciate it. MarineKing sees exactly when this base is coming up. Bomber, of course, decided to scout to the wrong positions first, so he's not going to have... Oh, the nice thing for MarineKing, though, is that this command center is going to be done, and Bomber will not know that this was a command center first.
Well, we'll see. He might be able to figure it out just because the orbital is done by then, yeah.
I thought he was going to go a little bit farther into the base, and it would take a few more seconds, but no, it looks like he's turning around a little bit too quick.
MarineKing looks like he's going to be going for some reactor Hellions here, just judging by the production queue. He's getting that reactor on his barracks and building a factory as well. We've seen that come up in TVT a lot more frequently than it used to, honestly. And he's not even going to get to see the command center, is he?
Very nice.
He has no idea what MarineKing is doing. He's going to have to burn a scan, which is going to use up what could have been a mule, use up some resources early in the game.
Very true, and it looks like he's moving to 3 barracks now, so 3 barracks out for Bomber. And MarineKing, on the other hand, actually going for those reactor Hellions. Yep. He does indeed have a starport hanging around behind there somewhere. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's going to get a tech lab.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what he uses that tech lab for. I mean, he could just make some Marines as well and go for stim and some sort of like a drop Hellion play too. He's got a couple different options for how to play this out, so we'll have to kind of wait and see what he does. It is MarineKing. He's got like probably the most varied builds of any Terran player out there. I think I will say that, yeah. I think he's got the most variety in his builds of anybody right now.
Yeah, very much so.
Yep.
And here come the first couple of Hellions out. We do have Tech Lab Starport coming out now, and it is a Banshee. He's got plenty of gas to go for Cloak if he wants to, but of course he's just a little bit behind on his minerals.
Yep. Yeah, normally you would go for Cloak before the Banshee, so if he does, that'll be an interesting decision. And there's Cloak. All right, so he is going for Cloak. after the Banshee here. What that will allow him to do is get the Banshee in there, do some damage, kind of make Bomber think, oh, it's just a regular Banshee, I don't need to worry about it. He's just kind of seeing what he can do with it. Use the energy on mules, then Marine King cloaks, and suddenly Bomber's in trouble. So watch for Marine King trying to do that possibly.
Well, Bomber's backing up at the moment. It looks like he was trying to take down the destructible rocks. Not going to be the case now. Marine King's got to watch out, though. Those Marines on the top of the ramp, if they have vision and the Hellions don't.
Look at that production queue, man. What do you see on there?
Oh,
I see something that excites
factories.
That's right.
It's a mech build for Marine King.
We are certainly going to see some mech play from Marine King. We're probably not going to see a Raven very early on from him. Yeah, there's the second Banshee just because he's investing in Cloak. Normally you see meching Terrans get a Raven early on in TVT because of Marauders. But he's just going for more Banshees, wants to put some hurt onto Bomber early on.
On to Bomber, indeed. So let's see what Bomber has seen so far. He does have nothing, actually. He does have one missile turret coming up, but he has not started a second. There he goes, actually. Now missile turret is down. Cloak going to finish up in about, what, 20 seconds or so? No, 10 seconds, actually. So Marine King going to try and get some damage done, but there's already missile turrets in place to go ahead and prevent this Banshee.
Yep. Oh, look at that. Bomber trying to cancel that supply depot to... oh, nice scan to get the Banshee. Tried to save the SCV, but he did not do it.
Yep.
Supply depot is still about halfway done there.
All right, so it looks like he's continuing with the Banshee production for now, actually producing another one right after that. There's Blue Flame Hellions, and we have our first Siege tanks heading the field now.
I don't know if I like that decision to get cloaked by Marine King. It hasn't really done him a whole lot of good. You know, Bomber was able to get turrets up in time. You don't usually see players go for cloak in this kind of build, so...
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he's really going to gain a lot from that. I mean, he could have been doing Siege mode and Blue Flame at the same time if he would have saved that gas, but we'll have to see.
And
does lose that Banshee. Oh, and no vision on the high ground as well, so he can't take advantage of the Marines being on the edge like that.
Yeah, Bomber picking up on this pretty well. Do I hear another? No, I thought I heard another Banshee or something like that, but nope. Bomber has actually dealt with these pretty efficiently. Taking a look around now, he is adding on another barracks. Who's going to be on 4 barracks, another command center, 3 bases, as a matter of fact. Marine King, of course, going for that slower mech style, just trying to produce as many Hellions and tanks as he can.
Well, Bomber's going to be going for bio against mech in this map. Now, this is a good map for bio versus mech, but what you need to do is exactly what we're seeing Bomber do. You know, he's preparing to expand quickly. You need to take a lot of bases. You need to be out on the map. You need to get positional advantage on your opponent if you're going to do this. Otherwise, you're going to take a lot of damage, probably lose the game. So Bomber doing everything he can right now.
Marine King doing a pretty good job of denying some mining up here, but now we've got some more Marines out, and all of the Banshees have actually died so far to scans. We'll see if that's going to be the same case now. Not enough energy left on this orbital command. I don't know if he's just waiting to overcommit with another one. Oh, let's take a look now. Blue Flame Hellions are out there starting to roast a couple of units, but these units on the high ground are actually dispatching of the Hellions really efficiently.
Yeah, you could see the indecision with Marine King. He was like, oh, I just got Blue Flame. Do I have enough to take out that army? So he's like, I guess I'll try it. But in reality, he just lost a lot of his Hellions. And he did kill a little bit of the bio, but overall came out behind in that engagement.
Yeah, let's see here now is Bomber, of course, has sacrificed a little bit of supply to make sure that he actually gets up his third base pretty soon. Stimming up a couple of Marauders over here. They're just so excited to kill some destructible rocks.
Yep. Why not, man?
All right.
You can afford it.
Few bio units tearing ahead now as Bomber going to try and get a good read on the situation. There's a lot of tanks and Blue Flame Hellions there. And it looks like a few SCVs being pulled off the line as well to continue healing up some of these mech units.
And Bomber sees it with the Zelnaga Tower, and he's going to have to pull back. He doesn't have any sort of bunkers or anything like that. You can see him moving up to try to get a good flanking position on these units, but it's going to be tough, man. I mean, Marine King is going to have a great entrenched position here. Oh.
Yeah, very much so. Oh, wow. Okay, so Bomber can't move into this. He just can't.
Really.
He would get everything destroyed, but he does have mobility on his side, and he's starting to go up and around for now.
Yeah, he could try to go and cut off reinforcements while he builds up a force at home. He could decide to go for a counterattack as well. We'll see. I think Marine King, is just going to move back to cut off that army while he leaves a couple tanks to shell the natural of Bomber. And, oh, yeah, Bomber taking some more tank hits there.
Yes, he is. Bomber just kind of moving to the side. Here's the drop, though. He's going to move right into the natural and try and circumvent these forces. That's only Hellions and a handful of tanks. So Bomber could get position here. No, it looks like he's actually just going to move right away, jump back onto the low ground. He is still continuing to take quite a bit of damage, but he has occupied Marine King's attention. That's going to allow him to take out the tanks. He has not dispatched the Banshee, however.
Yep, he loses a couple tanks, but still in a pretty good position here. Like you mentioned, keeping the Banshee alive was very important.
Yeah.
Wants to keep Vision on the high ground there.
This Marauder.
And somehow.
What? How is that Marauder still getting kills?
Oh, he is going to have more holes in him than Switch cheese after that, dude.
Ow,
oh,
ow, ow. All right, well, here's actually trapping Bomber's army. Very, very nice. Marine King winning himself a really nice advantage right there. He is up by 30 supply now, looking very, very good.
That is huge. If you fall behind and you're playing Bio against Mech, you are in such a tough position. Stimming ahead to try to take out this tank, and he will get one. But the entire army for Marine King is barreling down on him.
Yes, it is.
Rough position for Bomber right now.
We'll see if Bomber can try and bring this back, because certainly got his work cut out for him. He is the recipient of 3 bases, though, so his economy is pretty good at the moment. Let's see, though, can he crush with this front line of forces? No, the siege tank line too powerful, starting to shell that natural.
This is a dangerous spot for Marine King actually here, too. Pushing ahead with this with only tanks, it's a bit of a risk, but it looks like it's paying off. Wow, taking out the command center as well.
Oh, man.
Bomber playing against Marine King's mech, he's going to Hellion in a handbasket, man.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I said it.
Hi, Templar. All right, so let's see here now. As more Hellions starting to filter in at the moment. And let's see if Bomber has a response, because Marine King has just cut him in half. Almost a 50 supply advantage now. And Bomber, is he dropping? Is he doing anything to try and work his way back in?
He can't. He just doesn't have any units to spare for this. He's got a good amount of Marauders here, but it's just not going to be enough, man. I mean, I think Marine King has this game pretty much locked down. Bomber's still producing a lot of Marauders, so he's going to be able to try one last big breakout with the SCVs.
Yeah.
And, Marine King not paying attention, losing some Hellions there, and landing his Vikings. What is Marine King doing? That had to be a misclick. Otherwise, he's either just showing off.
Had to have been. I mean, there's no way, man. You can't concede air advantage like that, especially when your opponent's only opportunity is just to try and lift and run away.
I think it might be just Marine King going, hey, look how far ahead of you I am. I can just like give you some Vikings. It doesn't even matter.
I guess so, but anyway.
That was either a huge misclick or just a BM move from Marine King.
Well, there's the scan. The Banshee does get picked off, so Bomber's still kind of on the ropes right now, as Marine King trying to roll his way through at the moment. And now production under siege, unfortunately. A bunch of Marauders out. It looks like he's trying to win back this air fight. Now he's just going to try and push his way through. And there's not a lot of tanks in any one given position. So actually, Marine King is going to get that army destroyed. The contain is broken out of. Bomber reclaims his natural as he's expanding to the top right-hand corner as well.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Marine King just getting a little bit sloppy in this game, actually.
Yeah.
He needs to pull it together if he wants to win. He was so far ahead. He still is ahead economically. But look at that. Bomber having an expansion to the upper right. Oh, but Marine King does spot it with that Hellion. That is bad for Bomber. But here's the thing. Marine King's army isn't exactly the most mobile thing in the world.
Right.
Oh, man. If he catches those Hellions.
I know. I was waiting for that.
It's like, I was like rubbing my hands in anticipation. But it didn't work.
All right, well, Bomber does have another fully saturated base, and that's actually before Marine King's able to take advantage of his. So Bomber's certainly not out of this yet, but I've got to say, man, with the maneuver that Marine King had put on, Bomber should have been out of this. I mean, this game should be over.
Yeah, what a weird game. Marine King just kind of playing maybe a little bit too passively. I think he, again, kind of misthought of how far ahead he was.
We'll see if Bomber just ends up picking up and moving over to the natural again, or what he's going to do. And no, it looks like he was just going to construct another command center there, because he is relying on that base at the top right-hand corner and his third as well to gather the resources he needs. 25 supply advantage now for Marine King, but things not looking quite as good for him. Little bit shakier position on the map.
Well, he's hit about 150 supply, and that's usually when a lot of meching Terrans like to move out, whether it's TVZ or TVT. So he's hitting a good timing to start to be aggressive again here, but Bomber is keeping right up with him.
Yes, he is, as a matter of fact. So let's go ahead and take a look around now. Just basically almost pure Marauders being produced now, as really wants to push ahead in that regard. And look at that. It's actually a planetary fortress, so he's not going to take too much Hellion damage for now. We may have a meetup here in the middle, as Marine King actually trying to take yet another base. And it looks like he did just finish that up. So both players are going to be on 4 bases very soon. Bomber has to watch out. He's got so many units trapped in those medevacs.
Yep. And the other thing, too, is there's so many Hellions to buffer forward those tanks. Even with all those Marauders, MarineKing still in a great spot. His economy just so much better than Bomber's this entire game.
Yeah. See, though, Bomber actually did a pretty good job of moving out of the range of the tanks that were sieging up and neutralizing these Hellion numbers. Now, he hasn't been able to do anything about the Vikings yet, though, and that's actually posing a problem because his medevacs are dying quickly.
Yeah, exactly. He needs the medevacs to heal up his bio units to stay alive. MarineKing still playing a little bit risky, being very, very aggressive with this here. Losing a lot of his Hellions. You know, like we said earlier, you need the Hellions to buffer against the Marauders, because right now those tanks are just really, really vulnerable.
All right. Well, it looks like Bomber is actually just going to go around for the moment now, and he is still 30 supply behind MarineKing, but of course this base at the top right-hand corner has not been touched. Bomber actually just pushing his way up at the moment. He is going to crash through the front line of tanks. Isn't enough, though. The Marauders, yes, it looks like it barely will be. These Vikings are landing, and they will eventually be able to clean up all of the Marauders, but not before MarineKing takes some losses there.
Yeah, and again, these tanks in the front are a little bit vulnerable as well. Look at that, dropping on the high ground and on the tanks as well. Bomber's going to clean up these forces as well, and the reinforcements from MarineKing.
Yes, he is.
Man, I can't believe just how sloppy MarineKing is playing in this game. I mean, he's just leaving tanks, sitting around the map with nothing to defend them.
Yeah, MarineKing is actually now almost tied on supply with Bomber. Bomber's about caught up. Now, granted, of course, MarineKing's units are a little bit more cost-effective, a little bit more powerful, a little bit slower as well, but Bomber's mobility really winning out for him, and he's just picking MarineKing apart.
Well, Bomber did a good job of taking the appropriate risks in this game, too, as well. You know, taking that sort of hidden expansion in the upper right part of the map, that was a risk that ended up paying off for him, but aside from that, MarineKing is just kind of giving him units here and there.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And I think that was the last remaining Marine for MarineKing. Oh, the irony. And let's see here now. That's a pretty good siege position, though. But looks like Bomber going to be able to pick up on the space on the left-hand side. And it's not a planetary fortress, so it is actually going to force some units away. And Bomber's actually ready for those units to shift.
Yeah, Bomber has great positioning right now on MarineKing's army.
Yes.
So MarineKing's going to need to be very, very careful about this. Oh, attacking from two sides.
Yes, he is. One going into the natural, actually. This one up at the front doing quite a bit of damage. These tanks have not sieged up yet.
No siege mode. Oh, man.
Wow. MarineKing losing so much stuff. A couple of Marauders left. This last siege tank going to fall down here in just a second. Finally, these Vikings land to try and clean everything up for Bomber, but just every time one of those tanks goes down, it's like a dagger through the heart. Oh, and look at this. Bomber just going to push to the front one more time. Kills all of the SEVs sitting up there. He has now killed 34 workers and starting to crash through the Vikings as well.
Yeah, man, and unupgraded Vikings are not very good at all against upgraded Marauders, as MarineKing is finding out the hard way right now.
Yep.
Bomber takes a supply lead, and MarineKing is just kind of in dire straits right now.
What are we watching?
I don't know. This is really going differently than I expected here. MarineKing looked like he had the game all wrapped up, but then just decided to get a little bit careless with his units, and you can't do that against someone like StarTale Bomber.
What a catch-up, though, from what a comeback, I should say, from Bomber.
Yeah, what a huge comeback.
It's incredible, actually, because lesser player would have just outright died. This Marauder has actually gotten 5 kills, and that has paid for itself. Unfortunately, going to die. Has 7 kills now, though, and it's a good portion of those workers killed over the course of this game. 8 kills before he finally dies.
Yep. So good job by him.
Yes, very much so.
Most of it.
141 supply now to 131. Of course, MarineKing is expanding all across the map at the moment. Top left-hand corner. Whoa, watch your rally points. As you don't want to gift some units there, but really not a lot here for MarineKing. He's actually trying to pull back to his defensive tank position, but just moving out with 4 on siege tanks, that's going to get eaten up by Marauders. Yeah,
having that 4th base is really saving MarineKing right now, because Bomber is not expanding as aggressively as he possibly could be in this case. He could be taking that entire upper right side of the map, and there wouldn't be really a lot MarineKing could do about it. But just deciding to try to kind of sit on 4 bases, see if he can end the game there, I guess.
And looks like MarineKing trying to make his way up, so he saves this base, but I don't know if it's going to be in time. Actually, Bomber taking out this force of tanks at the same time that he runs through the space on the left-hand side. That is a huge blow to his economy. And look at this. Bomber actually just pushing through. Anyway, he is going to defeat the force that was just sent after the small ragtag group of units. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Bomber may have just completed the comeback.
Absolutely,
and I think MarineKing is going to be knocked out.
Yeah, MarineKing losing a game that he really should have won, it looks like here, but you got to credit Bomber taking advantage of every little mistake MarineKing made.
Oh,
There's
wow.
the Manor Mules from StarTale. Bomber.
Oh, very, very nice. Very classy. I like it. And last couple of siege tanks are going to fall, as are the last couple of units from MarineKing. He's down to 80 supply. And was that another Manor Mule? Yes, it was from Bomber.
Dancing his mules.
Yeah, Bomber. Yeah, Bomber.
MarineKing does come out ahead in that fight, but he just has not a lot of economy to back up a mech-style play anymore. So Bomber, if he plays carefully here, should be able to end the game very, very soon, taking out the last 2 siege tanks.
Yeah.
That should be it, guys. I think we're going to see GG very soon here.
So MarineKing not going to get the full all-kill. He does kill 4 members, though, of StarTale.
Yeah, crazy. I'm just... All right, well, Bomber... attacking here, dancing everything in the siege tank fire. Oh, look at just giving him the Marauders. He's like, I don't even need these. Here, you can have those.
I now officially want these two to match up in champ bracket at IPL 4.
This reminds me of, who was it? Bomber versus, I can't remember who the Terran player was back in GSTL Season 1. It was a lot like this.
Oh, wow.
Both of them just kind of BMing each other here. Bomber knows what a huge comeback it is. He's like, hey, man. You had me dead, and then you just got sloppy.
Yes.
And look what happens when you get sloppy. You get Marauders dancing in front of your siege tanks because they don't care anymore.
You never want that. So.
That's right.
Okay, well, last few SCVs are going to die there. MarineKing looks like he is going to be difficult.
Those tanks just look dejected right now, man. They're just kind of like sprawled out. They're like, oh, how did this happen?
What do we even? Where do we even go from here? I don't know. Let's just move up here, I guess. Hey, Marauders! More Marauders. Marauders are pretty good up here.
There's a lot of tanks there for MarineKing, too. This is going to be his final push. Will he be able to kill Bomber with this?
I don't know. Looks like more units coming up for Bomber right now. Cutting off reinforcements, starting to camp production in a second. And MarineKing down 69 supply to 161. Bomber has got to be feeling great right now.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, Bomber's like, hey, man, you can just leave your tanks there. That's okay.
Hey, do you want to make only Hellions after this? Because that's all that's going to happen.
Yep.
All right, let's see here now. Scan on top of those units. Units moving up to the top left-hand corner as well. MarineKing going to lose yet more SCVs. This is all done but the shouting now.
110 supply ahead, 120 supply ahead or so.
Yes.
Another mule for Bomber, landing it to draw siege tank fire this time. A little bit more than a Manor Mule. He's moving in. Marauders first to soak siege tank hits.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be quite enough, but oh no, never mind, it is.
It's Bomber's
it's
just
enough.
Bomber's just that good. There it is, guys. 21 supply now for MarineKing.
So, yeah, MarineKing just going to stay in the game now, make Bomber kill apparently the rest of his stuff, I guess.
There it is.
GG.
Congratulations to Bomber. Takes a game back, and all of a sudden now, it's 4-3.